first fall day of the year, and we're underway. Clevenger gets the early deflection. Perigin there trying to settle. Stolen away by the Cavaliers. Clevenger comes back on the ball to win it over to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher looking for an option, plays it into the middle, stolen away by the Cavaliers, into an attack. Dole steps up to challenge. Dole's able to win the ball over to Thomas on the near side. Bennett Thomas to Ruben Brake, back into the middle for Perigin. Perigin looking to switch the field over to the far side for Liam Nelson. Nelson heads it into the air. Lucas Nangle steps in, gets a touch, but cleared away by the Cavs. Back to the back line for Meningus. Meningus gives some space over to Dole. Dole has a challenge coming, plays it to the near side for Brake. Brake gets a touch, but stolen by the Cavs. Stolen right back by Clevenger into an attack for Perigin. Perigin tracks back with the ball. Perigin chips it over the top for Nelson on the run. He's on. He gets into the box. Nelson's able to cut it back into play. Still challenging, gets across the box, takes the shot, and the keeper's there for the save. Ball punted to the near side, Wind holding it up. Thomas comes in for the challenge. In the center circle, Cavaliers possess. Ball in the middle, Nangle gets a touch, but stolen back by the Cavs. Ben Schumacher comes onto the ball, gets a touch up ahead, poked away by the Cavs, back into possession. Drop back as Nelson steals back into Clevenger. Clevenger wide down the far side for Nelson. Nelson has time. Looks to play it across to Schumacher. Ben gets a touch over to Perigin. Perigin tries to set up a shot, gets his ankles kicked, and cleared away by the Cavaliers. Brandon Schumacher defending on the far side. Poked down the line as Schumacher shields and wins the ball for the Cougars. Throw in goes to New Heights. Brandon Schumacher there to take the throw, plays it down the line. Cleared away by the Cavs. Meningus plays it back to Dole. Dangerous ball. Dole's able to save it. Plays it into the middle. Schumacher checks back for the ball. Schumacher back to Dole. A reset. Thomas opens up on the near side. Dole cuts into the middle. Plays it for Perigin. Perigin tries to settle it out of the air. Number 3 comes over for the Cavaliers. Plays it down the near side. Thomas wins it back into possession for Ruben Brake. Brake to Nangle. Nangle tries to one-touch into Perigin. Stolen away by the Cavs. Ball in the middle. Clevenger deflects into a chase, and again cleared away by the Cavaliers. Thomas back in the middle for Clevenger. Clevenger looking to turn. Chips it to the far side for Nelson. Ball in the middle as Roman Brake clears it. Over to the far side for Nelson. Nelson cuts it back into Ben Schumacher. He looks for the through ball to Perigin. Perigin tries for the back heel on Clevenger, deflected away. Gets it back to Nelson, fighting for the ball on the far side, and the Cavaliers smartly put it out of play for a throw-in. Perigin inbounds to Nelson, has time. Perigin sends it into the box, headed into the air. Ruben Brake challenges back for the ball. Drop back to Thomas. Thomas looking for space. Over to Dole. Dole quickly back to Thomas on the near side. Thomas back to Dole. Dole again to Thomas on the near side, looking for an option on the run. Perigin makes a diagonal run to the corner. Gets challenged for the ball and cleared out of play by the Cavaliers. Will be another throw for the New Heights Cougars. Ball back into play. Clevenger sends it into the box. Dangerous ball, and the keeper's there to scoop it up. Clevenger challenges the kick and wins the ball going down the line. Cleared out of bounds by the Cavaliers. Will be a throw for the Cougars. Perigin carries across, still on the ball, looking to set up a shot. Takes it far post and saved, but knocked out of bounds, so it'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher jogging over to take the corner on the far side. 5 minutes into the game, no score. Clevenger goes near post, ball short, cleared away by a Roman break for the Cavaliers. Perigin comes in a challenge, able to win it back, gets tripped, and draws the foul. And it'll be a free kick for the Cougars. Perigin likes to take this quick if he can. The Cavaliers are committed to a 3-man wall. And they're drifting back into a 5-man wall. Perigin and Nelson over the ball. Nelson, a left-footed striker. Perigin right foot. Nelson takes the shot and sends it over the goal. And it'll be a goal kick for the Cavaliers. Cavaliers take the restart, side spinning ball into the middle. Stolen back by the Cougars. That's Perigin on the ball, looking to switch the field over to Nelson. Nelson onside, gets to the ball. Is able to keep it in on the corner of the box. Looks across the field, finds Perigin. Perigin settles, makes a move, still on the ball, tapped across and deflected into the box by Clevenger. The keeper's there to clean it up. Punted away by the Cavaliers, but off the mark, and it will be a throw in for the Cougars here on the near side. Thomas into Perigin. Perigin has time, looking to turn. Challenge comes, deflected away as Thomas comes back to it. Thomas, clever play back to Perigin. Perigin dribbling in, looking to split the defenders, cuts it across the frame. Perigin chips it over the top for Nelson. Nelson fighting for position. Cleared away by the Cavaliers as Clevenger tracks back to it. Roman break comes in, gets the tackle. Ball's loose in the middle. Ben Schumacher comes onto it. Schumacher looking for an option, gets challenged from behind. Schumacher carries across and sends it over to Ruben Break. Ruben and Roman are brothers. Roman for Thomas Jefferson, Ruben for the Cougars. Meningus plays it to Brandon Schumacher on the back line. Schumacher gets challenged by Roman Break. Up ahead to Nelson. Nelson 1-2 to Perigin into the corner. Nelson's able to get there. Cuts it back with his left across the box. Ben Schumacher chasing for a good settle. Schumacher gives it to Clevenger. Perigin comes on, 3-toe, and puts it on frame, but the keeper's right there to make the save. Keeper throws it out into the middle. Meningus steps up and heads it forward. Ben Schumacher comes on the challenge, cleared away by the Cavaliers. Brandon comes up to win the ball as Roman Break gets a touch. And out of bounds will be a throw for the Cougars. Nelson, good throw down the line to Schumacher on the run. Ben Schumacher looking to turn into the edge, plays it across the box, too heavy, and out of play. That'll be a goal kick for the Cavs. I did bring a roster, and I don't know where I put it. I'm not sure what I did with it. Subs coming in the game. Ruben Break subs out as, let's see who subbed in. Kaysen Hamlin subs in the game. The Cavaliers also made a sub, Roman Break, out of the game. Free kick into the middle. Bennett Thomas gets called for the push. It'll be a free kick for the Cavaliers. Ball played into the middle. Nangle gets a touch to settle. Over to Hamlin. Hamlin carrying on the near side. Hamlin through to Clevenger. Clevenger's able to turn, looking for Nelson over the top. Good ball into the box. Nelson's there. Takes the shot and puts the first goal in the game for the Cougars. Just a beautiful ball over the top. And Nelson was able to run onto it and make a good finish for the goal.
Way to go, Cougars. Let's get another one. Keep it up, Green. Come on.
All right, restart a play. Cavaliers in the middle of the field. Cavaliers able to settle. Play to the far side. Into the center circle. Engel's able to come on to win it. Gets it to Ben Schumacher with space. Schumacher carries, plays it to Clevenger. Clevenger turns, looking for the option over the top. Back to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher gets it stolen off his feet and cleared away by the Cavaliers. Dole steps in to challenge. Is able to win the ball. Good drop by Thomas to create space. Dole finds him. Thomas chips it back in over the top. Perrigan's able to win the ball. Over to Thomas. Thomas drops to Dole. Dole, again, good job giving space to set up that drop. Dole switches the field to the far side. Won by the Cavs over to Meningus. Meningus touches wide. Out on the run. Meningus still on the ball. Cuts it back in. And Meningus is going to get a yellow card for that late challenge. That's the first card of the game for the Cougars. Restart a play. Sorry, I missed that follow. Trying to get that sorted. And we're back to the action. Cavaliers mistouch. Out of play on the near side. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Clevenger, good throw to Perrigan on the run. Touched out of play. And a corner kick for the Cougars. Perrigan there to take the corner. Perrigan side spinning ball in. Clevenger comes in, ball's loose, cleared away by the Cavs. Ruben Brake steps up to challenge. Cavs get by the first challenge. Dole comes in, good job shielding and turning. Brandon Schumacher back for the ball. Brake clears away and foul called, actually handball called on the Cougars. See if we can see that on replay. We're not going to get there in time, but it will be a free kick for the Cavaliers from about 35 out. Just counting off the mark. Let's see if we can see it here. All right, free kick taken. Good shot, and Rush Stewart's there to make the save for the Cougars. Stewart punts it away to the middle of the field. Perrigan settles with his chest. Cavaliers come on the challenge. Perrigan's able to win it. Finds Schumacher with space in the middle. Ben Schumacher touches to Clevenger, looking for the 1-2. Clevenger over the top for Schumacher on the run. Perrigan's challenging from the other side, and Perrigan gets a touch on it. And I think they're calling goal kick, but okay, he's saying, no, he is saying goal kick. Okay, it was definitely touched by the Cavs, but it maybe incidental touch is what he's calling it. All right, goal kick for the Cavaliers.
Worst case, it's a corner.
Spinning ball into the middle of the field. Perigin comes to challenge. Drop back to Thomas. Again, Dole doing a nice job spacing. And Thomas drops it back to him. Dole patient on the ball, plays it up ahead. Thomas and Hamlin discussing it. Hamlin takes the ball. Hamlin back in the middle for Perigin. Perigin draws time. Plays over the top for Hamlin into the box. And cleared out to the sideline. It'll be a throw in for the Cougars. Ball into Perigin. He back heels to Hamlin. Hamlin cuts it back, gives it back to Perigin. Perigin sends it in. Spinning ball. Clevenger's there. And good save by the keeper. Ball punted back to the middle of the field. Ball bounces and angles there. Dole pokes it back up to Hamlin. Hamlin turns, gets it to Clevenger to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher back to Perigin. Perigin over the top for Nelson if he's on. Good ball as it's curling in. Nelson off the post. And cleared away by the Cavs. Perigin fights for possession. Cavaliers are able to get it. Perigin, good shield, steps in to win it. Takes the shot and rolls in. Keeper's there to scoop it up. Low ball punted away. Then Schumacher's there to settle with his chest. Over to Nelson. Nelson over the top. Clevenger on the follow. Is able to settle it down. Gets it back to Perigin. Off the mark, though. Cavaliers poke it away. Over to the near side. Hamlin comes to challenge. Hamlin gets a touch to the corner, or to the sideline, I should say, and it's a throw in for the Cavaliers on the sideline. Ball back into play. Cavs try to go down the line, deflected away by Thomas. Perigin gets the ball, looking to cut it back. Poked away by the Cavs into a transition play. Meningus there, spinning ball. Meningus is able to clear it out to the sideline, and it will be a throw for the Cavaliers on the far side. Handball called on the Cougars. And a free kick again for the Cavaliers. It looks like all right, some discussion with the center ref. Free kick taken. He touched it twice before he took the kick, but center ref was distracted by conversation. And Stewart punts away, top spinning ball into the middle. Clevenger gets a touch, cleared back by the Cavaliers. Nangle comes in, gets a touch back into the middle of the field. Cavaliers possess. Into the center circle. Nangle deflects it, gets it to Schumacher. Ben Schumacher plays it over to Nelson. Nelson has time, looking at Clevenger. Falls to Hamlin. Hamlin over the top to Clevenger, but he's offside. And that will be a indirect free kick for the Cavaliers. 22 minutes left to play here in the first half. Cougars leading 1-0.
Hey, good job, Case. That's a good ball, dude. Keep it up.
Ball held up by the wind. Perigin's able to settle. Plays it over to Clevenger. Clevenger pokes it back to Perigin. Cavaliers get it and steal over to the far side. Clevenger tracks back to win it, turning it to the edge. Clevenger down the line, still on the ball as he cuts it across. Finds Ben Schumacher there, gets a touch. Schumacher looking through, finds Nelson. Nelson's off.
He didn't touch it!
And it'll be a Free kick for the Cavaliers. Back spinning ball into the middle. Perigin there gets a touch. Perigin has time. Plays it for Nelson. Gets it over the top into the corner. Nelson's there. Holds up play, looking for the run. Gets it into the middle, stolen by the Cavaliers. Schumacher's able to win it back. Schumacher fighting for position. Ball's dropped back to Ben Schumacher, back to his brother Brandon on the back line. Back into the middle. Hamlin chasing on the backside. Ball's loose, and the Cavs finally clear it away. It's still in play over in the corner. Hamlin chasing. Sends it across the box. Perigin with the three-toe. Good shot, and keeper with a nice save. Ball punted high into the air to the near side. Wynn's holding it up. Thomas is able to settle it in play. Gets it to Hamlin. Hamlin over to Perigin. Perigin sends it to the far side. Nelson's tracking back for the ball. Nelson into the box. Clevenger making the run, and the keeper steps up and scoops it up. Big throw out to the far side. Meningus misreads it, goes over his head. He's able to recover, gets it back to Nangle. Into an attack for the Cavaliers. Nangle pokes it over to Schumacher, up to Perigin. Perigin through to Clevenger with some space to turn. Clevenger looking for the through ball to Nelson, can't find it. Clevenger still on the ball. Looking to set up a shot. Drops to Schumacher. Schumacher takes the strike and sends it over the goal. And that's a goal kick for the Cavaliers. Ball back into play, punted to the near side. Challenge for the ball. Cavs head it forward. Nangle drops it back to Dole. Dole heavy on the touch and gets challenged for the ball. Dole's able to win it back. Handball called. Perigin driving ball up to the top. Clevenger fighting for position. Gets it with his chest. And offside called on Clevenger. Is it offside or a foul? Looks like it was just a foul on Clevenger because the center doesn't have his arm up any longer. All right, spinning ball in the middle. Perigin settles it down. Tries to take the shot as the keeper is out. Deflected by the Cavs. Falls to Schumacher. Schumacher with room to carry. Finds Clevenger into space. Clevenger looks over the top for Nelson. Schumacher's there to get a touch. Schumacher tries to cut it back. Poked away. Falls to Clevenger. Over to Perigin. Finds Nelson. Nelson across with his right. And can't get it on frame. Ball rolls out of play. That will be another goal kick for the Cavaliers. Just under 17 left to play here in the first half. 1-0 the score. Ball punted to the near side. Hamlin challenges from behind. He's able to win the ball across the middle. Perigin cuts it to Clevenger. Clevenger tries to poke through, gets a deflection. Cleared to the far side by the Cavaliers and out of play. That'll be a throw in for the Cougars. Nelson takes the quick throw to Clevenger. Back to Nelson. Liam Nelson cuts it back, gets to his right, finds Perigin. Perigin one-on-one finds Clevenger on the run. Clevenger cuts it back. Back to Nelson. Nelson across to Nangle. Off the mark is the Cavs steal. Nangle does a good job of getting position. Wins the ball back. Plays it to the near side for Hamlin. Hamlin one touch back into the middle. Cleared back out to the outside for Hamlin to steal. Falls to Perigin. Deflected by the Cavaliers. Back to Perigin by Thomas. Perigin carrying it down the line. Perigin makes a touch. Gets to the edge. Cuts it back across the middle. Perigin still carrying. One more touch. Looking at his options. Stolen away by the Cavs. Perigin tracks back for it. Pokes it wide to Thomas. Thomas looking for a check, finds Clevenger at the top. Ball bounces into the air by the Cavs. Hamlin comes on and gets a deflection towards the goal, and it will be a corner kick for the Cougars.
Here we go. Let's finish this, Green. Come on.
Ben Schumacher coming over to take the corner kick. Schumacher takes a sky ball, headed back in, all the way back to the back line. Dole's in a risky position, plays it wide. Brandon Schumacher there gets a touch, but cleared away by a rum and break. Dole back to the ball, gets a touch back to the middle. Dole has time, gets challenged from behind, followed by the Cavaliers. Ball played across the middle of the field. Schumacher steals in the center circle. Schumacher gets a touch into the attack, looks for Nelson on the run. Doesn't get enough, is able to check back to it. Nelson gets into the box, takes the shot, and another save by the keeper.
Keep it up, Green.
Good spinning ball into the middle of the circle. Dole comes up to challenge. Meningus is there, heads it over to the far side. Dole wins it in the center. Drop back to Brandon Schumacher. Schumacher plays it wide. Touched first by the Cavs. Nelson checks back to win it, gets it to Schumacher. That's Ben. Over to Perigin. Michael Perigin on the ball, tries to play it through, deflected away by the Cavs. Nangle on the ball. Lucas gets it to Hamlin. Deflected back to Nangle, who gives it to Perigin. Perigin tries to send it over the top for Clevenger. Deflected back by the Cavs. Back to Perigin. Perigin looks for a seam for Nelson. Ball's into the box. Nelson makes a touch back. Gets it to his left, over to Clevenger, bouncing. Ball is cleared by the Cavaliers. Ball bounces in the center circle. Dole comes up and heads it into the middle. Nangle's there, drops it back to Meningus. Meningus, good ball on the ground to Thomas. Thomas with some space, plays it into Nangle in the middle. Nangle looking to turn, finds Schumacher. Ben Schumacher gets challenged, able to keep on the ball, plays it over the far side for Brandon. Brandon back in the middle for Schumacher, deflected by the Cavaliers into a steal, into an attack as Perigin chases back. Ball played through, Dole's able to deflect, back to Perigin in the center circle. Perigin driving ball on the ground, gets through. Nelson didn't read it though, he's going to get there now. Nelson wins the ball, tries to play it back, Clevenger's there. Clevenger tries to strike, deflected by the Cavs. Perigin settles, looking at his options, gives it to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher back to Perigin. Perigin takes the strike and sneaks through the keeper's hands for the goal.
Come on, one more. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Let's see if we can take a look back at that in replay.
Keep it up, Green. Hey, spread out up top, guys. You're front pack.
There we go. All right, restart a play. 2-0 now the score. Clevenger steals. Drops back to, thought about Perigin. Gives it to him now. Perigin sends it over the top for Clevenger to chase to the corner. Ball knocked out of play. Clevenger's over there to take the corner kick for the Cougars. Hudson Clevenger on the ball. Low ball in, bounces. Schumacher gets a deflection to Perigin, and the Cougars score again. (3-0). Now the score.
There you go, Cougars. Keep it up, Green. Go, keep it up. Come on.
See if we can get that on replay. Clevenger takes that bouncing ball in. Then Schumacher just back heels it right to Perigin and caught the goalie off of his line. And we're up 3-0, 11:20 left to play in the first half. Ball back into the center for the Cavs. Clevenger steals on the errant pass. Cavaliers are able to clear. Perigin comes on the challenge. Ben Schumacher comes in to poke it away. Cavs send it upfield as Dole steps up to challenge. Dole plays it on the ground to Schumacher looking to turn. Ben Schumacher's able to win the ball, gets it to Perigin. Actually, foul called on the play, and the Cougars will get a free kick. Clevenger coming back to take the kick. It is a decent wind heading in the direction of the kick. We're about 40 yards out, but Clevenger could put this on frame. Hudson chips it over the top, and the keeper's there to scoop it up. Ball punted high into the air, into the center circle. Bounces. Meningus is there, tries to put it down to Nangle. Nangle's able to receive it, gets it to Perigin. Deflected away by the Cavs into an attack. Break, punches it over the top. And Stewart's at the top of the box, able to scoop it up for the Cougars. Rush punts it back in the middle of the field. Schumacher's there to get the first touch. Heads it forward to Clevenger. Clevenger one touch wide to Nelson. Nelson looks, plays it to Clevenger on the diagonal to the corner. Clevenger holds up play, looking at an option, gets to the edge. Clevenger still on the ball, gets to the box. Cuts it across as Hamlin's there. Challenge in the box, and the keeper's down hurt. Perigin challenging on the near side, is able to win it back. Keeper's down. Perigin deflects. Perigin shot gets deflected, I should say, and now the whistle will blow for the injured keeper. Very windy day here. 9:32 on the official clock. See if we can look at that challenge on replay. Clevenger is able to beat his defender, gets into the box, plays a really nice ball across. Hamlin okay, looks like the keeper's up and is going to be okay. Hamlin got a touch on that ball. Couldn't tell really what happened, if Hamlin stepped on his hand or if the Cavaliers defender stepped on his hand, but we're ready to play again. Cavaliers steal. Meningus over the top. Into the box as Clevenger comes on a challenge. And it goes out the end line, goal kick for the Cavaliers. Ball in the middle. Perigin wins it to Clevenger, up to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher back to Clevenger for the strike. And save made by the keeper. Side spinning ball in the middle. Schumacher tries to get a touch, bounces over him. Into the middle, Lucas Nangle's there. Nangle back to Brandon. Brandon on the ground to Ben. Ben with some space, touches wide to Nelson. Nelson in the middle for Clevenger. Clevenger tries to turn. Stolen by the Cavs. Into some space in the middle of the field. Nangle challenges back. Over the top. Meningus gets caught up. He's able to win it back. Plays it to the far side. Break sends it back in and into the box. Stewart's there to scoop it up. Whistle on the play. Not sure what the whistle is for. It must be a bloody nose by Cavaliers player on the far side. .7:30 left to play here in the opening half. Restart a play. Stewart gives it to Perigin. Perigin plays it on the ground into the middle, rolls all the way through to Hamlin. Hamlin touches back to Clevenger. He's able to turn. Clevenger through for Nelson, but too heavy, and the keeper's there to scoop it. Thrown to the far side, and Engel comes up to win it. Can't control it as Roman Break steals. Break on the far side, holds up play, plays it back into the middle. Challenge for the ball in the middle of the field. Drop back as Clevenger challenges. Nelson comes in to challenge the ball. Played back into the Cavaliers. Nangel's there. Whistle and foul called on the Cougars. Be a free kick for the Cavaliers. Cavs take the back spinning ball into the top. Nangel's there. Lucas chips it out to Ben Schumacher. One touch to Hamlin. Hamlin on the near side has room in front. Hamlin plays it through, but nobody's there. The Cavaliers deflect away. Clevenger's able to get back to it. Plays it over to the far side for Nelson. Nelson challenged on the ball. Down the line, Nelson carries back and turns. He's got time in front, plays it through for Perigin if he can get there, and the keeper has to deflect it out of play. It'll be a corner kick for the Cougars. .5:30 left to play here in the first half. Perigin takes the corner kick in. Clevenger on the backside, heads it across, and Ben Schumacher got a left foot on it but couldn't put it on frame. And goal kick for the Cavaliers.
Hey, Ben, you got this, big dog.
Spinning ball into the middle. Perigin with his shoulder tries to settle it down. Ball's poked away by the Cavs into an attack. Brandon Schumacher steps up to win it, gets it to Nangle. Nangle carries with space in front, plays it through. Deflected by the Cavs. Clevenger comes on, gets the deflection. Ball comes to Schumacher. Ben Schumacher drops it back to Nangle. Nangle chips it in. Bounces over the first line as Clevenger comes on. Cavaliers able to possess. Perigin's there to steal. Into the center circle. Lost our mark. Dole steps up and wins it. Back to Nangle. Nangle on the ground to Schumacher. He's able to turn. Schumacher gets past the first line, gives it to Perigin. Perigin back to Schumacher. Schumacher to Clevenger. Clevenger looking for the through ball. Holds up play. Back to Perigin. Perigin over the top for Ben Schumacher. Schumacher takes the strike, still on the ball, and finishes the goal. And the Cougars take the 4-0 lead. .341 left to play. Cougars score their fourth goal. Take a look at that goal on replay as ball just chipped over the top. Schumacher gets it, goalie deflects, and then Schumacher's able to finish with his left. All right, back to live action. Perigin to Schumacher, back to Perigin behind him. Cavaliers poke it away, falls back to Ben. Ben to Clevenger. Clevenger looking for the through ball, chips it over the top for Schumacher again. Schumacher one-on-one with the keeper, and Ben Schumacher scores another goal. And the Cougars lead 5-0.
Good job, boys. One more. Come on. Man, don't make me get my hat out.
Restart of play for the Cavaliers, stolen back by the Cougars. Clevenger on the ball, looks to turn. Clevenger over the top for Nelson. Nelson settles down at the top. Cavaliers are able to poke it away and into possession. Perigin comes to challenge, wins the ball back. Gets it to Clevenger. Clevenger takes the strike far post, and it's off the mark. It will be a goal kick for the Cavaliers under 3 minutes to play here in the first. Ball punted to the near side. Hamlin challenges for the ball, gets a touch to deflect, but gets called for the reach-in foul on the trip and a free kick for the Cavaliers. Spinning ball in, goes through the first line. Brandon Schumacher knees it forward, up to Perigin. Perigin's able to turn with some space, plays it through for Nelson. Goes all the way through, deflected to Clevenger. Clevenger into the box, takes the shot, and Hudson Clevenger scores the goal. Another goal for the Cougars. Now they're coming in bunches, and the Cougars lead 6-0 with 2 minutes left in the first. Perigin had a couple options there. Schumacher short, Nelson wide. Clevenger was on the near side, but the ball got deflected right to him. And Clevenger there, good far post shot to score the goal. Back to live action. Perigin on the far side, challenging for the ball. Back into play. Brandon Schumacher settles down, plays it wide down the line. Back into the middle, actually, as the Cavaliers are able to steal. Ball to the near side for Hamlin. Hamlin looks to turn. Good fake as Hamlin turns it upfield. Looking for Schumacher off the mark and cleared away by the Cavaliers. Nixon Meningas steps up to win it with time. Meningas dropped back to Clevenger on the back line, gets it to Perigin. Perigin turning. Cuts it back. Perigin on the run. Perigin takes the strike, and the keeper's there. Dole comes on the follow. Gavin Dole, goal hungry, tries to clean that up, but good job by the keeper getting back on top of it. Clevenger over to Brandon Schumacher on the far side, more in the middle actually, as Nangel's able to get it on the pass into the center circle. Over to Perigin. Under a minute to play here in the first. Perigin, nice move as he gets down to the sideline. He's able to cut it back, sends it across the box, bouncing high in the air, headed into the air by the Cavs. Ball's loose as Nelson chips it back to Perigin. Perigin across the box. Hamlin's on the backside. Ball bounces over and out of play, and it will be another goal kick for the Cavaliers, just under 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Windy day here at Ozark Christian College here in Joplin, Missouri. It is going to drop down tonight below freezing. Ball to the near side. Hamlin's there. Hamlin into Dole. Dole's going to have to turn and shoot. Takes the strike and sends it over the box. That was actually a nice strike by Dole, but just put too much underneath it. And that will be halftime for the Cougars with a 6-0 lead. All right, we'll put 10 minutes on the clock, take the halftime break. and be back for the second half after our break. second, the Cougars get the kickoff. Perigin plays it over the top into Dole. Bouncing ball chested down by the Cavaliers. I did find my roster that I had misplaced. Rum and break on the ball over to number 11, Espinoza. Break plays it in the middle. Ben Schumacher steals, plays it back to the back line for Clevenger. Hudson Clevenger and Michael Perigin have switched to the defensive line. Over to Nelson. Thomas plays it through. Nelson wins it into the corner. Nelson plays it in the box. Dole's there, looking at his option, plays it across, deflected away. Back into the middle. Nelson in the middle, stolen by number 21. That's Wisdom, Jack's Wisdom. Back to the back line for Clevenger. Clevenger plays it all the way back to Stewart in the box. Back into the middle. Perigin gets it to Clevenger. Finds Nangle with space. Nangle over to the far side, poked away by number 23. That's Green. Attack for the Cavaliers, Kyler Beard. Beard drops it wide, but Ruben break there to steal. Fight for the ball with Lincoln Green. Sent back in by the Cavaliers. Ball's loose as Perigin's there. Perigin across the field to Brandon Schumacher on the near side. Roman break challenges for it. Schumacher, nice touch to get free. Gets it to Nelson on the near side. Nelson's able to keep it in play. Makes a nice touch across. Nelson pokes it over into the box for Dole. Number 12, Lincoln Miller there. Thomas steals and gets a shot, but can't get it on frame. And ball is saved by the keeper. Ben Schumacher steals with space in the middle. Plays it up to Thomas. Thomas lets it run. Back to Dole. Dole turns it back, looking for space. Dole into Thomas, cleared back by the Cavaliers to Nangle. Nangle to the far side, but nobody's there. And cleared away by the Cavs. Clevenger into the middle, over to Perigin. Perigin through to Thomas. Thomas takes the strike, sends it over the goal. And a goal kick for the Cavaliers. All right, back into play. Bennett Thomas heads it into the air. Number 21, Jack's Wisdom there. Ben Schumacher in the middle. Ben Schumacher wins it, plays the turn to Thomas. Thomas 1-2 to Schumacher, stolen away by Wisdom. Number 23, Green, and Nangle challenge for the ball. Lucas Nangle wins it, tries to carry it down the line, and deflected out of play by the Cavaliers. It will be a throw-in for the Cougars. Into play for Schumacher. Schumacher over to Perigin. Perigin puts the ball up into the air. It's loose at the top. Nelson tries to head it over the top. Dole's there, and the keeper's able to get back to it to make the save. That's keeper Ethan Renger. Renger clears it to the near side for Roman break. Stolen by Perigin. Up to Thomas. Thomas tries to play it through to Nelson. Loose ball. Perigin gets it to it. Plays it over to Nelson again. Back to Thomas. Thomas chips it into the box. Nelson fighting for the possession. Deflected away into the middle by Miller. Perigin comes on and takes the strike, but way off the mark. And that will be a goal kick for the Cavaliers. .35 minutes left to play here in the second half. Nangle wins the ball, gets it to Perigin. Up to Thomas. Cleared away by the Cavs to Wisdom. Played to the far side for Green. Lincoln Green sends it into the middle for number 5, Beard. Nangle challenges back for the ball. Beard's able to win it over to 22 Roman Brake. Brake sends it back in for Beard. Clevenger pushes off and gets called for the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Cavs. Let's say 35 out. Strike in by number 21, Wisdom, and Stewart's there to make the save. Stewart punts it to the near side. A little bit of a miss hit, and it's out of play. Throw in for the Cavs. Brake takes the throw in. Deflected by Thomas as Wisdom tries to play it through. Wisdom carrying down the line. Nelson steals. Wisdom's able to steal it back. Brandon Schumacher comes on a challenge. Wisdom shoots it on goal. Stewart takes a hop off the face and is able to secure it. Drops to Clevenger out of the back. Clevenger to Meningus. Nixon Meningus with time. Has two coming. Finds Ben Schumacher with room to pivot. Plays it up to Nangle. Nangle with room. Nangle turns. Plays it through to Dole. Dole tracks back. On the touch. Across the box. Schumacher deflects. And the Cavaliers cleared away. Perigin back into the attack. Sends it over the top. Miller there. Clears it to the far side for Espinoza. Nelson challenging on the ball as Espinoza plays it in the middle for Wisdom. Nelson steals it back. Nelson with a through ball. And Dole was there, but just too heavy. Side spinning ball to the far side. Touched first by Beard. Over the top by Wisdom. Clevenger's there first, and he'll let it roll into the box for Stewart to gather up. Stewart out to the Schumacher. Quickly back to Clevenger. Clevenger cuts it back, deflected by Roman Brake. Clevenger finds Brandon Schumacher on the near side, touched back into the middle for Perigin. Perigin over the top to the near side. If Nelson can keep it in. Good win by Nelson with his chest. Finds Thomas on the diagonal. Thomas carrying down the line. Makes a touch on number 19, Leighton Green. Thomas back into the box. Still fighting for possession with Terry. Nangle gets the deflection onto the goal, but Ethan Regner, the senior keeper, there to scoop it up. Clevenger is able to win the ball. Brake comes to challenge. Clevenger plays it into the middle. Cleared away by the Cavaliers. Clevenger back in the middle for Thomas. Touched by Terry. Into possession for Espinoza to Wisdom. Wisdom carrying. Clevenger comes in and makes a nice tackle. Up to Schumacher. Schumacher has space to run. Schumacher still on the ball. Makes another move through. Schumacher there. And touched away by number 12, Lincoln Miller. Be a corner kick for the Cougars. Schumacher low ball driving in. Thomas lets it roll through. Perigin, back post, scores the goal. And the Cougars have taken a 7-0 lead. Let's see how we did on the replay shot. Oh, yeah, we got it in frame. Good. All right, back to the action. Ball out of play. It is an 8-point mercy rule, so if the Cougars score another goal without the Cavaliers scoring, that will end the game. Angle chips it back into the middle. Ben Schumacher there to settle. Played back to Perigin. Perigin back to Schumacher with space to turn. Schumacher on the run. Plays it through to Dole. Dole, good touch and turn. Takes the shot and deflected over by Renger. That will be another corner kick for the Cougars. Nice play by Dole. Gives it space on the touch to turn. Lines up a shot. And Renger in good position to make that save, but still a good strike by Gavin Dole. Michael Perigin over to take the corner kick on the far side. Ball sent high into the air, all the way to the backside. Nelson's there to track it. Nelson sends it in. Bouncing ball, Nangle's there. Nangle plays it into the box, cleared back out to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher carries across, chips it to Dole if he's on. Dole takes the shot, and number 12, Miller, was there to deflect it away. All the way back to Perigin. Perigin carrying across, again into Dole. Schumacher steals over to Thomas. Bennett Thomas back to Terry for the Cavaliers. Brandon Schumacher gets a touch, finds Ben Schumacher on the pivot, finds Nangle. Nangle carries in, gets tripped, plays through, cleared away by Miller. Ruben Brake on the far side, challenging with number 3, Lincoln Green. Trenton Farley deflects it off of Green. Brake over on the far side, challenging for the ball. Brake sends it into the box, headed away by the Cavs. Over to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher in possession at the top of the box, poked away by the Cavs again. Schumacher back to the ball, drops it back to Perigin. Into the box, chipped up by Anthony Terry. Espinoza clears it to the near side. Brandon Schumacher comes back to the ball, gets it to Liam Nelson. Nelson has a double team coming, pokes it through, cleared away by number 19, Leighton Green. All the way back as Schumacher gets challenged by Brake. Back to Clevenger to Schumacher into Thomas. Thomas able to turn as he lets it roll. Wisdom comes to defend. Thomas tries to chip through. Cleared away again by Anthony Terry all the way to the center circle. Meningas touches over to Perigin. Wisdom comes on the challenge. Perigin gets through. Perigin carrying, sends it into the box on the backside for Dole. Dole settles it down with his chest, makes the turn. Dole still on the ball, trying to turn. Number 3, Trenton Farley, is defending. Nangle steps in. Ball's loose as Schumacher comes on. Ben Schumacher into the box, makes a move. Schumacher looks far post and can't get it on frame. Goal kick for the Cavaliers. Ethan Renger, the goalkeeper for the Cavaliers, set to take the goal kick. 27 minutes to play here in the second half. Ball played to the far side, and Meningas gets a touch into Dole. Cleared away by number 9, Chivillard. And out of play on the Cougars. There'll be a throw on the far side for the Cavaliers. Lincoln Green there to take the throw. Ruben Brake makes a touch. And out of play, another Cavaliers throw. Ball falls to the middle. Ruben Brake there, gets a touch up ahead, but nobody's there for the Cavaliers. Nixon Meningas steals. Perigin plays it over to Clevenger. Clevenger with some time, being defended by Brake. Finds Ben Schumacher in the center circle. Jack Wisdom comes over to pressure. Schumacher plays it through to Dole. Dole traps it back, gets it over to Nangle, stolen away by number 3, Farley. Wisdom on the ball, plays to the near side for Brake. Brandon Schumacher comes to challenge. Brake gets a touch through as Schumacher comes on. Clevenger takes a good angle and wins the ball. Clevenger back into the middle for Nangle. Nangle with a lot of room to turn. Nangle touches over to Ben Schumacher. Schumacher carrying up ahead. Directing traffic, finds Dole. Dole back to Schumacher, falls to Nangle. Nangle chips it in. Shivler deflects. Nelson and Espinoza on the near side challenging for the ball. Espinoza through. Wisdom back to the ball. Plays it back to Terry, Anthony Terry, up to Espinoza. Ian Espinoza with some time. Nangle comes up to challenge, gets it to break. Espinoza touched in the middle. Perigin touches back to Nangle. Nangle to Schumacher in the center circle. Schumacher to Thomas. Thomas tries to play through. Back to Nangle in the middle. Wisdom there. Wisdom gets a touch to the near side. Breaks on the ball. Break plays it down with his left for Wisdom on the run. Brandon Schumacher challenging back on the defender. Wisdom carries across, takes the shot, and gets way underneath it. And that will be a goal kick for the Cougars. Ball back into play. Michael Perigin. Up to Schumacher. Schumacher with room to carry. Setting up the attack. Makes a touch to Perigin. Back to Schumacher. Schumacher cuts through. Gets it to Nangle. Nangle to Nelson. Nelson in the box. Gets his legs tangled. Back to Nangle. Over to Perigin. Cleared away by number 9. That's Shivlard. Over to Beard. Beard loses it to Break. Ribbon break to Ben Schumacher to Thomas. Bennett Thomas takes the shot off of Leighton Green and into the box for Ethan Renger to scoop up. Ball punted to the middle. Perigin sends the back spinning ball in. Dole's there to challenge. Dole fighting for possession. Keeper's way out. And out of play on Terry. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Nelson takes the throw into Dole. Dole sends it high into the air across the box. Ben Schumacher there to challenge with number 3, Farley. Nangle gets a touch to get to the edge. Trying to turn. Green defending. Nangle across the box. And rolls out the end line. Will be a goal kick for the Cavaliers. Nangle made a nice run. Looked like it was going to go on frame. And just sneaks past the keeper, but also outside the goal. Restart. Schumacher with a clever play over the top to Thomas. Thomas to Dole to the top of the box. Dole takes the strike, and the keeper's there to make the save. Ethan Renger, another save recorded for the Cavaliers. Renger takes his time to get it to the top, punts it away, over here to the near side. Brandon Schumacher can't get the first touch, rolls over the top. Roman break, touches back as Clevenger plays it all the way back to the keeper, Stewart. Stewart chips into the middle for Schumacher. Espinoza and Schumacher challenge for the ball. Schumacher's able to win it. Then Schumacher turns, plays it to Nangle. Lucas Nangle sweeps it across to Thomas. Thomas back to Nangle with space in front. Finds Dole. Dole looking to turn back to Nangle. Into Ben Schumacher, through ball to Dole, but not heavy enough, and Miller's able to sweep it away. Back into possession for the Cougars. Ribbon break on the ball, stolen away by number 23, Green. Break's able to win it back, gets it to Nangle, deflected again by Green. Over to Kyler Beard. Beard with some room, plays it into the middle. Clevenger steps up to steal. Clevenger on the run, takes the shot from 35, and off the mark, goal kick for the Cavaliers. Renger there to take the goal kick. Played to the near side. Brandon Schumacher, nice touch into his brother Ben. Ben has room in front. Schumacher directing traffic, gets it to Thomas, back to Schumacher on the run. Schumacher gets tripped up. And everyone's like a group of U10 players fighting for who gets to take the free kick. I think they'll give it to Dole because they're trying to get Dole a goal. Gavin Dole with a good opportunity here, about 22 yards out. Three-man wall for the Cavaliers. Nelson on the right side, Meningus, Nangle, and Thomas on the left side. Breaks out just on the edge of the box. Clevenger runs over it. Dole takes it into the wall. Drops back to Schumacher. Schumacher tries to poke through. Wisdom deflects over to Dole. Dole fighting for it. Drop back to Clevenger. Clevenger plays it wide for Brandon Schumacher to chase. Schumacher has time. Schumacher thinks about it as Roman break comes to challenge. Back to Clevenger. Clevenger looks through for Dole, deflected. Number 19, Green there. Brandon Schumacher on the near side challenges Espinoza. And off of the Cavaliers, there'll be another throw for the Cougars. Brandon Schumacher looking at his options, looks for Thomas on the run. Poked over to Nelson. Nelson shields and lets it drop out of bounds. Throw in to the box for Ben Schumacher. Schumacher receives it, plays it across. All the way to the backside. Nangle's there. Nangle sends it in, but over the goal. And another goal kick for the Cavaliers. 19 minutes to play. Restart a play, goal kick to the far side. Ruben Brake gets a touch on it but can't control it in play. It'll be a throw in for the Cavaliers. Ball on the far side. Brake comes on, gets a touch back to the middle. Wisdom heads it in the attacking direction, but Perrigan's there to steal. Perrigan plays it down the line, deflected by the Cavaliers. And actually off the sideline, it'll be a throw in for the Cavs. Back into the middle for Wisdom. Nangle steals, plays it to Ben Schumacher with space. Schumacher through to Thomas. Thomas touches. Thomas still on the ball. Stolen back by Ruben Brake. Challenge on the near side. Brandon Schumacher there on the challenge. Clevenger wins it back. Clevenger turns it down the line. Into the attack. Clevenger on the ball, waiting for the run. Plays it to Nelson. Nelson into the box. Looking to send it across. Finds Dole there. Goes past Dole. He tries to backheel. Still in the box. Thomas turns and shoots. And not enough on it. It goes wide of the frame. That sure looked like a good opportunity for Gavin Dole to score. Not sure if he didn't see it or what happened, but see if we got that bit on frame. I think he thought it was going to be deflected, and he froze. Looked like it rolled right past him. 17 minutes left to play. Brandon Schumacher plays it in. Espinoza steals. Over to Brake. Roman Brake on the ball on the near side. Plays it back to the middle. Clevenger's there to steal. Clevenger up ahead to Nelson. Nelson has room. Terry comes on to challenge. Diagonal run by Thomas to connect. Thomas across, deflected by Leighton Green. Green wins the ball, playing it down the line. Into the middle of the field. Clevenger steps up to win it. Back to the backside for Ruben Brake. Brake tries to settle. Lincoln Miller there for the Cavaliers, clears it to the far side. Lincoln Green tries to get a touch on it, but it's out of play. It'll be a throw for the Cougars. Ball into Perrigan. Perrigan sends it into the box. Nelson on the backside. Nelson holding up play, looking for Dole. And out of play. Another goal, another throw in for the Cougars. Liam Nelson there to take the throw. Gets into the box as Nangle checks. Miller clears it. Up to break. Brandon Schumacher there gets it to Thomas. Thomas turning. Plays it wide to Nelson. Nelson can't get a touch on it out of play and throw in for the Cavaliers. But in the defensive third, this is still a good opportunity for the Cougars to send it in. Terry throws it down the line. Nelson steals. Nelson carries across into the top of the box. Over to Dole. Dole gets a touch. Dole takes the shot, but not on frame. And another goal kick for the Cavaliers. (7-0) the score. 15 minutes left to play. There is 8-0 mercy rule here in high school soccer in Missouri, so another goal by the Cougars would end the game if the Cavaliers don't score first. Brandon Schumacher and Roman Brake challenge for the ball. Brake sends it across. Meningus, good touch back to Brandon Schumacher with space. Schumacher plays it up to Thomas. Thomas makes a touch, plays it wide to Nelson. Nelson into the corner. He's able to track it down. Gets it to Thomas on the 1-2. Terry steals. Thomas wins the ball back, but whistle is blown, and Thomas must have grabbed him. I'm not sure what the foul was, but foul called on the Cougars. Free kick for the Cavaliers. Ethan Renger comes out of the box to take the goal kick. Brandon Schumacher, or the free kick, I should say. Brandon Schumacher wins it up to Nelson. Nelson has time, looking into the space available. Nelson all the way to the box. Gets it to his left, takes the shot, and Renger makes the save. Renger side spinning ball to the middle, over the top. Schumacher challenges back for it. Roman Brake there. Schumacher missed touch. Brake steals. Clevenger comes in, wins the ball back. Gets it to Brandon Schumacher. Brandon Schumacher carries, makes a nice touch, gets it back to Clevenger. Clevenger into the middle for Ben Schumacher. Schumacher with plenty of room to turn. Schumacher on the attack. Makes the touch to Dole. Dole back to Schumacher on the run. Back to the middle. Schumacher tries to Maradona. Gets into the box. Schumacher still fighting for it. Gets it to Dole. Dole back to Schumacher into the box. And Schumacher scores the goal. And gets his hat trick. Ben Schumacher ends the game. Gavin Dole gets the assist. Take a look back at that as Schumacher and Dole connect on the 1-2. And final score. Cougars 8, Cavaliers 0. All right, we'll take a break here and be back for the start of the JV half. So we get confirmation if we're doing a JV half